And we are back. Uh, it feels like forever since I last said that. Maybe you last heard that. If you haven't necessarily gone back and listened to previous episode and the time I've been absent, I feel like I've I've had a hiatus before. I don't think it's been that long or this long. And I think the last time I did, when I stepped away for a little bit, I came back and I asked you for grace because life is happening, and it's not only happening to me, it's happening to you, it's happening to everyone. And I want this to feel as organic, as natural, as human as possible. That is what we focus on here, is just human creativity. So if there's opportunities for us to be human and be our normal selves, I don't necessarily want us to get in the way of that. But I do want to apologize somewhat for my absence, but it's something that we could talk about. It's a little warm in the studio today, this new studio. But we'll talk about it. I want to start off how we always start off. So if you see me wiping, it's because it's warm. But let's start off how we normally start off, with an exercise in mindfulness. And how we generally do that is 10 breaths, focus on your breath. I prefer your eyes closed, and we're going to start now. Now that we're here, let's do the thing that we always do post mindfulness. I like to give you guys a brain teaser, something to get your minds going, get us sharp. And I have one for you. It's I'm not what I was, but I'm still me, broken, shifted, reassembled carefully. Sometimes I pause, sometimes I flow, but give me space and I'll still grow. What am I? It's a lengthy one too, right? Welcome to what I imagine is episode 46. It's been a significant gap since the last one, and a lot has happened. In my personal life, I'm sure a lot has happened in yours. But one of the things that we committed to, and we made a pact that we are going to continue this for as long as possible. And I want to still acknowledge that, and then two, stay true to that. And this is why I'm here. So I'm back. I feel good. I've been good the entire time, I think. But I want to acknowledge that a lot has happened. And I think in our conversations leading up to what was the 45th episode, I had mentioned that there was all these things happening, and they never stopped. And one of those things was I was changing spaces, and I don't know. I personally don't like moving, and anything about it, like the process of actually moving and the act of actually doing that itself is stressful. It's all these things that you have to consider, and then you uproot where you were, and then you move to this new place, and then you have to turn this new house into a home and go through that whole process. And I did not know how much, I knew how much I hated the art of moving, but I did not know how much it would impact me and my creativity. And so I want to acknowledge that I feel a little bit of instability, and I'm not as balanced, and I'm still trying to get my feet under me in life in general, but just this creative process. And I think I want to be mindful of that. And I'm saying that so I can hear myself say it, and I could give myself the grace I think I need to be able to get back on the horse. And then 2, I've had to relearn my creative process, because I got so comfortable in the space that I created, and I was in that space for a long time, and I knew where to go in that space to channel my creativity. I knew the perfect time of the day to be able to do that. I knew when I walked into that space, I had expectations. I knew how creative I could be. I could measure my creativity based on what my expectations were for the time I allotted for it. And then I woke up and I'm in a completely new space. And a huge part of this transition is how do I recreate that old space? And beyond just the creative space that we've set up to be able to accommodate or facilitate creativity, just in my own home, right? Like, how do I was so used to everything that existed before. Like, if you're into like setup and design, the feng shui was exactly how I needed it to be. The environment was curated. I felt like my last place was, I don't want to use the word museum because museums feel so cold sometimes. It was home, and everything was just in place exactly where I needed it to be. And that was just for my normal life. But again, going through this process, now I realize how much it has impacted my creativity. And then it got me to thinking, it's like, all right, how do I get back the momentum I once had? How do I, as much as I said recreate before, it's like, how do I create this new space that gives me the same urge and will and inspiration to want to create, to want to be creative? And at first I tried to recreate that space, like the original space. And I remember for a while I was looking at, all right, how can I buy pieces and create like walls and like partitions to almost mimic what once was. And then I looked at the possibility of that. And as I was going through that process and thinking about, okay, I could get this, I could do this, I could do this. And then I stopped and I asked myself, well, why? Like, why am I so hell bent on going back to the familiar? Why am I so pressed to try to recreate that, as if though I don't, like, it's almost like for a second I forgot that I can rely on my creativity to create new, to create something novel, to create something fresh. And it's almost like it gives me that old feel, but it's a new experience, a new layout, a new environment. And that has forced me to lean in on my creativity to create a space that I can walk into and feel like this is where I belong. This is the space that is going to be my creative space moving forward. And I was able to make shift a few things, which I think is one of the things that we talked about in previous episode. This idea of like ingenuity is a huge is almost generated from necessity, right? It is a byproduct of necessity. And that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, in this new space, how do I find my little area that I know when I walk into it, I can return back to my creative self? And then I started to think like how much of that that side of me, or that version of me, do I want to go back to? Because that version, if I'm honest, it's like I found comfort in that particular space. And then I was like, what about that space was so comforting? Was it because of the type of walls that existed? Was it because of my neighbors? Was it just the environment in general? Did that space make me, or did I make the space? And I realized that it was never the space. It has always been me. And a huge part of who I am is my ability to adapt. And I've always prided myself in my ability to be placed in any circumstance and find a way out or find a way through. And this is no different. This is honestly, this feels normal when I think about it, right? Like, as different as the idea of like uprooting myself from one place and putting myself in another place, change isn't new to me. Adapting isn't new to me. Evolving isn't new to me. I think I want to say it's innately who I am. It's a part of my makeup, and I started to embrace this idea. And as I kept doing that, I finally found myself becoming more and more comfortable in this new space. I finally found myself not trying to recreate the old space, but my process change, how I go about getting to my creative self was tweaked. I don't want to say it's different. I think at its core, it's the same thing, but in a new environment, how do I adjust? And if I'm honest, I haven't been extremely creative over the last few weeks. But that's because, again, I'm still in that mode where I'm learning everything around me. I'm learning new people. I'm learning new environments, even like my own space, like the place I live in now. It's like, this is all new to me, right? And it's like, I still wake up and I still have to, like at my old place, I could walk in darkness and I know how many steps it takes me to get here. I can move around completely blindfolded and I could get to anywhere. And I haven't mastered that yet in this new space. And I don't know that it'll take me. I don't know that there's a certain amount of time I need to be able to get to that point. And I don't know when it'll happen, but I do know it will. And a part of that is like, what are the things that I can do to, one, acclimate myself, but then two, it's like, for me, creativity is my lifeline, right? And we've talked about this, and it's like, if I want to get back to my creative self, I need to now relearn what that process is, and a huge part of that is taking baby steps, right? And I have to give myself little tasks and little goals so I could see wins. So I can know that my creativity still exists and it's still there. It's still in my back pocket. It's easily accessible. But I don't want to come out the gate swinging. And so I find myself like doing little things to just like remind myself that I'm still creative. Remind myself that I could still do this. And remind myself that I'm still human, but I'm allowed I'm allowed time, and I'm allowed to settle in. I'm allowed to experience change and have it affect me until it doesn't. I'm allowed to go through every emotion that comes along with changes. And the physical, the spiritual, the psychological aspect of this. And I'm saying this knowing that we are all, just like you on the other side of this, you're going through your challenges or your transitions, and you are still expected to be creative, right? So this is not something that is unique to Swale. It is something that we all as creatives experience. And if we can talk about it, I've said this before on numerous occasions. I say, it is when we share our stories, we realize how similar we all are. And creativity is innate to us, right? It'll never escape us. But sometimes we step away from it for a long period of time where it takes us a while to recover and stumble back into our creativity. And that is the journey I've been on over the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks, right? And it's like, as much as I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys, and I, like, if I'm honest, day 2 I had, for the most part, equipment set up, right? Like the core of the space was here, and I could easily grab the mic and I start recording, but the urge wasn't there. And this goes back to the point I was making earlier, that I didn't feel like creativity was there waiting for me in that space. Every time I walk by it, I'm like, it's there, but I didn't get the urge. I didn't get inspired to. I didn't feel like I would have anything to say, even though I had tons of things to talk about. I just felt like I was, it would have been forced had I had done it any time or any day before today. And I'm glad that we're finally back here. Like, if I'm honest, I feel good here just thinking about it. I feel good that I'm finally able to get back to one of the things that I love doing. I feel good that I was able to create this space and open it up for you guys again. I feel good that, man, we could get back to talking creativity, man. I miss it. I miss looking forward to getting on here. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and I had mentioned that a lot of these conversations, or most of them, if not all, this is unscripted, right? Like, I don't necessarily know what's going to be said. Like, a lot of the times it is real time. It's things that are affecting me at the time when I hit the record button. And some of the times we cover current events. Other times it's just what is happening. But I never feel like it's not going to resonate, because we are all experiencing this life at the exact same time. Our perspectives might be different, but the one thing that unifies us is the fact that we believe in in creativity and our ability to create. And I think as long as a space exists for that, we will all show up to be a part of it. And that's another thing that I have to continue to do, especially having such a long absence, is just get back to bringing creative people around me, getting back to creating my own creative environment, getting back to visiting and experiencing other creative spaces, just so I can get, I don't want to say my mojo back, because I never felt like I lost it, but I can get back into the art of doing. I think it's, for like a sports analogy, it's one thing to go out and just play some pickup games, but there's another thing to actually play in league. And I feel like I'm not league ready yet. Like, I'm not. I'm still. I'll go by the rec. I'll put some shots up. A basketball analogy. Or football, I might go out and play some touch football, run some routes. But I'm almost there where I could put a helmet, pads on, and get back to the sport. But I'm saying all that to say thank you for allowing me the time to be human. Thank you for the space and the grace to step away from creativity and come back to it. Thank you for just acknowledging your own creative journey, and be cool with whatever pace you're moving at, and not having to feel like we're in a race, or measuring yourself against somebody's journey. I think those are all important things, and it is the reason why we can do this and not see each other for a long period of time, and come back, and the love is still there, the appreciation is still there, and creativity still exists among us. I want to say that we're going to maintain the cadence, get back to the cadence again now, because we're back set up. The space is in place. We can create conveniently again, and we can get to it. So with that said, I'm not going to push this further than it needs to go. And we'll end how I started with this. I'm not what I was, but I'm still me, broken, shifted, reassembled carefully. Sometimes I pause, sometimes I flow, but give me space, and I still grow. What am I? I am creativity. As always, it is a pleasure. I will leave you how I always leave you. Go be great.